In this modern life we find ourselves, it is important to take time to relax and unwind, especially these last couple of years. Personally, after a long stressful day at work, I like to come home, grab a coffee, put some videos or streams on my tablet and boot up a nice chill game. Anything so I don't have to listen to my own brain anymore. So I've dragged myself away from doom scrolling. Why is everything so shit? To talk to you about some games that have helped me find calm during these interesting times.
Let's face it, it's the fucking end times, lads.
I'm going to bookend this video with the two games that have claimed the most hours from my life. First, Stardew Valley, a game I have now paid for and played on 3 different platforms. But it's the PC version I'm showing here, which is actually the least played of my collection, so it's worth considering that my love of this game stands firm, even without having tried any of the co-op play. I think at this point almost everyone knows what this game is, but here's a brief rundown. Inherit a farm from your dying granddad and use it to escape your horrifically mundane existence in the cubicle of an open-plan office belonging to a faceless multinational where you're an output drone. Oh, this is why this game's so popular. With your character created, in this playthrough I've made the main character from the brilliant Disco Elysium, and your farm named, you arrive in Stardew Valley on the bus and are taken to the rundown farm to start cleaning up. Hours and energy are limited, but energy can be regained with food and drinks. Even so, there is only a finite amount you can achieve in one day and so much to choose from. Farming crops and livestock, making jams and wines, cooking, mining, expanding the farm, fishing, and much more. Just as you start to tire of one thing, you remember another or notice a missing ingredient you need to craft, and then back down the mines you go, or off to the pier to catch that fish for the bundle at the old community centre. Oh yeah, the community centre, a rundown building you can restore by giving seasonal offerings to these little guys, or you can sign up to Joja Mart for cheap prices and let the mayor close down the centre in a cloud of frustrated disappointment. I don't know why anyone would do this. I mean, the manager of Joja Mart walks into your local friendly neighbourhood shop and starts handing out discount coupons, which the residents of Pelican Town snap right up in front of poor Pierre while he's having a panic attack. Fuck Joja Mart and their shitty cola. Other than this moment, the residents of Pelican Town are nice enough, and you'll have the opportunity to meet them, complete quests for them and cultivate relationships. Maybe you'll give this guy enough sardines to be friends, or cheer up this Mizog with mountains of pepper poppers and beer. With more places to explore beyond, and levels of mines to clear, Stardew Valley is the ultimate in digital Valium. There's something satisfying about watching a transport network grow and efficiently move commuters and passengers around it. In Dinosaur Polo Club's Mini Metro and the follow-up game Mini Motorways, you will get to enjoy this satisfaction for a split second before, why is there a house there? That is the least convenient place for you to want to live. Both games are similar in principle, but the devil is in the execution. In Mini Metro, you connect different shaped stations together with different coloured lines. Each station generates different shaped passengers, and you need to get them to their corresponding destination without overloading any one station. You can add extra trains and carriages to your line, which get given to you at the end of each week, along with other upgrades like tunnels or interchanges to increase the capacity of a station. Currently, there are 29 stages, 3 of which can be played in a classic mode, as well as the daily challenge, which alters the rules slightly for a one-time only chance at that day's score. The fact the look is based on the world-famous Harry Beck London Underground maps only makes me love the game a little more. Shout out to Harold Hutchinson, whose map wasn't as popular historically but did introduce interchange symbols, which this game is used to represent all of the stations of all different shapes. Wait, this is going off track. Wait, that pun was not on purpose. Ah, fuck. Anyways, Mini Metro. It has swallowed hours of my life. I love it. In Mini Motorways, you are presented with different coloured cars which need to get from their colour-coded houses to their corresponding colour-coded destinations to pick up colour-coded shopping before the destination's click and collect tills overflow and bury the poor staff. Road length is limited by the amount of tiles you have available. Every Sunday, same as Metro, you are presented with more road tiles and a choice of upgrades including bridges, elevated motorways which come with a reduced number of road tiles, roundabouts to confuse the Americans, and traffic lights which have got infinitely more useful as the game has been patched. When this game was released, it somewhat replaced Mini Metro for me at the time, as I had posted, albeit not very high, scores on every Metro map. They are obviously very similar games, which is why I'm lumping them together here, although I have gone back to Metro when new maps have been added. Both games slowly build the amount that you have to manage, ramping up the traffic so you always seem just 1 or 2 roads, bridges or tracks from your perfect network. And, oh look, why has that bastard spawned there? None of your friends are there, for fuck's sake! And there is a sweet subtle tension when you run out of resources on a Tuesday and now have to wait most of the week to get enough road tiles to connect this big fucker before the whole map collapses under its own complexity. The least chill part of this game comes just before you know it's all going to fall apart. Then the calm descends upon you as you watch the clock face fill to capacity and boom, fuck you buddy, your city has failed. I'm always amazed when I check the playtime for both of these games, as it's always smaller than I think it should be. These games satisfy in short bursts, and each game takes less time than you'd think. If you like puzzle games, if you like trains or maps, give one or both of these games a go. They're fucking great. Oh, and don't worry, Railroad Train Dispatcher Simulator. I've seen you. I've seen your mostly positive rating and your oddly creepy trailer. We'll dance soon enough. Are you like me? Did you find the concept of Papers, Please really interesting, but when you played through it, all you could think was, wait, I basically do this all day. Why do I want to do more admin, but this time with bombs? Ah, boo. Sorry, bro. What happened? Oh no, someone's run across the border. That's a bad move. Ah. Well, I guess we're done for the day. Well, maybe strange horticulture will be more your style. It was certainly mine. In this game, you inherit a herbalist shop. Seems to be a common trope in these games. Collect and organise your plants so you can sell them to the local populace. The comparisons to Papers, Please are obvious. Person comes to the desk, you do some admin, in this case the identification, sorting and selling of various plants, herbs and alchemical reagents. But unlike Papers, Please, no bills, family, citations or sick son nipping at your heels. Or wallet. Now, anyone that's watched my Stray videos knows that I have an eye for detail. So, bar's probably going to be down at street level, right? Well, not really, but I do seem to do okay in strange horticulture. There's something very relaxing about sorting my greenhouse, labelling the plants with colour-coded labels, and selling the people the correct plant for the correct situation, hopefully. The most tense this game really gets is when you drop your plant into this bit here to sell it and see if you identified it correctly. Although the feedback isn't always as obvious at first as it seems with certain situations. There is a map, and you can travel around the land surrounding the town of Undermere to find information, new specimens and characters. Also, your workspace seems to be a mystery in itself. Follow the clues, crack the codes, and discover the secrets of this world. I've actually restarted my game after an accidental deletion, so maybe I'll revisit this wonderful game at some point. Oh, and there's a cat. Pet the cat every day. I don't know why, but I saw a comment that said the same, so I did it and I got an achievement for it. So always pet the cat. Oh, and buy this game. Now, honestly, you can insert any classic point-and-click adventure you enjoy into this slot. But for me, no point-and-click is more nostalgic, more charming, and more, well, just nice than Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, and its sequel, The Smoking Mirror. The old version, not the remasters with their logic puzzles, horrible portraits, and inconsistent sound quality.
The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read, Salah Eddin, 1345.
Like putting on an old nostalgic movie, but with a little more interaction and less chance of nodding off on a Sunday afternoon. I can sit back, enjoy the beautiful settings, the colourful characters, and the funny dialogue, including the jokes that flew over my head at the time.
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe what you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
The story of George Stobart, American tourist in Paris who nearly gets blown up in the successful murder and robbery of an old man named Plantard, and Nico Collard, freelance photojournalist investigating a string of murders committed by assassins in fancy dress. Together they uncover conspiracy, ancient orders and forgotten relics, all while travelling around a beautifully drawn world of locations. There's something comfortingly European in the presentation, with lots of references to things I grew up surrounded by, like Marks and Spencer's, tube trains, and taking the morning off work to sign on.
You're not from the Social Security.
Hell no. What makes you think that?
Well, I was claiming benefit at the same time I was working for Pegram.
Favourite locations? The Hotel Ubu Paris and Lochmarn Island in Game 1.
I think you've had enough, don't you?
And the British Museum and Quaramonte City, South America in Game 2.
Go away!
These are games I will probably revisit every couple of years for the rest of my life now. While I have most of this game committed to memory, I will still occasionally forget something and get momentarily stuck.
No, that's wrong.
Especially in the later levels. Maybe once I've played 5 again, that will join them in my Hall of Legends. As for the 3D games, well, we'll get to those at some point. Oh, and there's the fan-made Broken Sword 2.5, which looks really interesting. Man, I love point and click. I have grouped these two games together as they occupy a similar space in my games collection and have swallowed up a similarly large amount of time any time I load them up. Let's start with the trucks. Euro Truck Simulator 2 is the game I didn't know I needed until I played it. Are you, like me, one of those people who plays GTA and enjoys adhering to the rules of the road when possible, whose immersion gets broken by the lack of punishment for breaking of said traffic laws? Someone who loads up the game just to put on the radio and drive about? Well, maybe, my friend, you should try Euro Truck 2. Honestly, this whole list could probably be filled with simulator games because, man, they can be a quiet, comforting distraction. The ultimate in watch videos and play games. No brain, you will not have any thoughts. Stop thinking. Why don't you stop thinking? Start off taking quick jobs as a subcontracted driver until you can save up enough, or get a loan, to afford your own truck. Then take in the vast map there for you to explore. I actually have a couple of map extensions installed, but not all, so it can get bigger than this. Then grab a job, pick up the load and transport it in time and undamaged to its destination. Keep an eye on your fuel and don't fall asleep at the wheel. Earn XP to upgrade your skills so you can take longer, more urgent or delicate jobs. Earn certifications to allow you to haul explosives and chemicals. Reinvest the money you earn into your company. Upgrade your garage. Buy more of them to expand your logistics empire across Europe. Buy more trucks and hire new drivers to drive them and take all the juicy profits for yourself. Build a big enough company so that it's completely self-sufficient and spend the profit and your time uncovering the map and turning the grey roads yellow. I will drive on all the roads. Relive the times when Britain and Europe had amicable trade and lose hours on the road. Now, I will be the first to admit I'm a little bit of a train nerd. What I mean by that is that to an average person in the general population, the fact that I can identify the odd train class, it's really easy, the numbers on the side most of the time, and even have an interest in them enough to play a game about them, means I should probably get an anorak sent through the post paid for by the state. But to an actual rail fan who has actual knowledge about these things, I am a lowly, if not filthy casual. TSW2 is actually my first train sim. Bought on a whim during a sale, now I can't stop. Give me all the trains. Give me all the routes. When's the next Steam sale? When previously asked what it is I like about these games, the only way I could describe it was the zen of procedure. There's something oddly peaceful about starting up a locomotive, getting a service prepared and then guiding it from A to B. The game can lurch from peaceful nothing to a flurry of activity depending on the situation, and zoning out for too long can lead to passing a signal at danger or not noticing a reducing speed limit. The scenarios are varied and many, and the graphics look pretty good on most routes, although some of the older ones converted to this game can be a bit ropey in places. While I do see some very valid complaints from people who know what they're talking about when it comes to trains, I myself pretty much enjoy all of the routes I have. I saw poor reviews for the original Isle of Wight route, but I've played that a lot, although West Somerset is really pushing its luck. Just look at this. Look at this. It just keeps going. It just keeps going on and on and on. And it's so slow. Why am I doing this with a shunter? The main reason I grouped Euro Truck and Train Sim together in this video was because up until the other day I was pretty sure that Train Sim World 2 had replaced Euro Truck 2 in my heart due to their similarity. But having gone back to get some footage for this video, I realised while similar, I do enjoy them in different ways. As stated before, there is an element of exploration and the urge to clear the map in Euro Truck, as well as the game mechanics to buy garages and grow your company. Euro Truck feels like more is happening in the background and it's affected by your actions and decisions. That's what really draws me back now. There is a wide range of trucks from many manufacturers, but honestly, other than a basic understanding of the concepts, it's all gibberish to me. When I buy a truck, I try to balance out the stat bars to match what I think I need for the jobs I want to do, then spend 4 times that time making it look pretty. Other than the brand, these trucks don't really stick in my mind or mean anything to me. In TSW2, I get to drive trains I have an affection for. Ones I grew riding up and down the country on. Ones I used to see tearing about the local goods yards. Trains hold a nostalgia for me that trucks never will. As it goes, fuck it. While we're here, let's have a little self-indulgent Paper Sunsets Top 5 Trains from Train Sim World 2. Number 5. Easy to drive modern commuter trains, whether it's along the coast from Brighton or whizzing along the Gatwick Express. Smooth, fun trains along interesting routes. Number 4. Small nippy DMU. If you've travelled by train in Britain in the last 30 years, you've probably got on one of these or its cousins at some point. Take it through the washer at the Cornwall line. Number 3. The reason I bought this game was to drive this train, and at first it was all I drove. 1972 stock is the oldest running stock on the London Underground network, but not the oldest in the game. Fairly easy to drive. The challenge of this line is the many stops, the changing gradients and the tight timetable. Number 2. Couldn't separate these two, so I've lumped them together. Cheating, I know. 2 classic diesel locos. Lots of passenger and freight trains. The Trans-Pennine route is a lot of fun. Number 1. More cheating? Yes. Do I care? No. The 483, as I mentioned earlier, had a lot of playtime from me. It's a fun little route that I could load up and play without too much of a time commitment. The old refitted 1938 stock are the same trains I rode along this line when I went on holiday there like 20 years ago. Then they released the 484s, complete with an updated route. These 484s used to be London Underground D stock, which is very nostalgic to me. When I first loaded it up, I was amazed I recognised the sounds of the train. So embedded into my past they were. Although they do look really funny as a two-car unit. Look at this little stubby guy. And while I have over 100 hours in this game, I still haven't actually driven every train. I see you, Class 43 high-speed train classic. Your time will come. Oh, you want me to drive you now? Okay. This is great. Okay, it's the top 6 now. Put this first. So there we are. 5+ games of a varying factor of chill. Taking the time to relax has become ever more important these past few years, and with entertainment in the outside world still subject to change, maybe computer games can continue to be our little port in a storm. But these are all games I've played before, the newest for me anyway being TSW2. I require new chill games. New chill experiences to let my mind unwind in the zen of procedure. And I have some downloaded on Steam ready to play. So next up I'll be doing some one-shot videos to try some games for the first time to see if I could add them to a potential Games to Chill with Volume 2. I'll see you soon.